Don't miss any content. Don't forget to subscribe and click the notification bell.
Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's another morning. Let's talk about football. I'm your host Salas Fiawe and welcome to Sahara Football. So today I've got some news for you. It's about legendary Ivorian striker Didier Drogba. He was interviewed, I think, a few days to the final about why African teams don't seem to be performing well, and he gave a very interesting take on that. Before I get all the stories and more on Drogba, and some French fans were died. 2 at least I heard died during the celebrations in Paris. So I'll give you more stories. And so before we get started, if you are new to this channel, please subscribe to the channel and click on the notification bell and leave your comment in the comments box if you're already a subscriber. Let me know how you think, what you think about the videos I've been doing and how I can improve them. So let's get right into it. So Didier Drogba, in an interview with RT Sports, I think he did an interview with RT Sports and was talking to them about how historically the African teams have not been doing well in the World Cup. We all know recently the African teams that went to the World Cup came out and none of them came out of the group stages. So he was being interviewed and asked why that was the case, and he said, we all know the 5 African teams, Egypt, Morocco, Nigeria and Tunisia, did not qualify from the group stage. Drogba says that even Senegal, who went out on the technicality, did not have the quality spine to guarantee success. He also said we have to be careful about the cliches, but he didn't. He said in West Africa, for example, this is what he said. In West Africa, if you don't get the result you expect, people go, it's okay, next time I'll do better. It's okay, it's God's will, Drogba said. Drogba, who has a winning strike rate, he has scored 65 goals in 104 caps for his country. And he went on to say, I have this positive mentality as well, but at the same time, I hate losing. The chance I had leaving Ivory Coast at age 6 and going to Europe and being surrounded by people who want to always perform, I have both these sides. I think mentally, we need to believe that we can go to win it, not participate. So he's trying to say we have to believe we can win it before we can win it. That I think it's really true that we have to know or believe that we can win this World Cup before we can win it. If we don't believe, it is not going to happen. So that was from Didier Drogba, and he said he grew up at a young age in Europe, and that gave him that mentality that you have to believe. African teams most of the time don't believe. They leave it to maybe goodwill on your part, something good will happen, blah blah blah. If it happens, fine. If it doesn't, it's God's will. No. He said we should take charge and believe that we can win. We can win this World Cup. We can always win the World Cup we go to. Most of the African teams don't go with that belief. That's according to Drogba, and that is what causes their downfall in the World Cups. And I think Drogba has a point here. He has a really valid point. I think African teams should believe first and foremost that they can win it. Then they work towards it, take action. But first we have to believe that we are not going to the World Cup to just participate, but also to come back with the big trophy. That's from Drogba. And Ghanaian captain Asamoah Gyan, who has worked with Croatia coach Zlatko Dalic. He has worked with him before in United Arab Emirates, Al Ain, some years back. He sent out a congratulatory message to Dalic upon his team's great performance at the World Cup. They didn't win it, but they did really well at the World Cup. And Asamoah Gyan sent out a congratulatory message to the coach. He posted on his official Twitter page. He said, "Congratulations, Coach Dalic, for taking your country, Croatia, to the World Cup, second place, to World Cup final and securing second place. I have always believed you would be a great coach one day. I'm happy to have worked with you, with a great person like you." That's from Asamoah Gyan. He's congratulating Zlatko Dalic on his country's performance at the World Cup. They didn't win the ultimate trophy, but they won hearts in this tournament by their great performance and sheer strong will. They did not give up easily. They didn't give up easily. Okay, so now let's go to the world champions France. France are home. They came home to a parade, and there was a street parade. But before that, millions of French people partied in the early hours of Monday morning after France had won the World Cup. But the celebrations were marred by at least 2 deaths on the road and clashes between fans and police. I think things got a little out of hand in Paris. People were overexcited. The euphoria people were overcome by euphoria, and I think that led to the deaths. He said from the foot of the Eiffel Tower in Paris to the southern part of Marseille, the whole country seemed to be taken over by a giant party on Sunday night after the 4-2 victory over Croatia in the final. 2 dead and several injuries. Both several accidents spoiled the festivities as they would naturally. I think the people got out of hand. They couldn't control their excitement and things got out of hand. Further south in Lyon, about 100 youths had climbed on top of a police vehicle during an in-air showing at the match, set fire to bins and threw projectiles at police hand-fired tear gases to disperse them. In Faroua, near the eastern part of Nancy, a 3-year-old and 2 6-year-old girls were seriously injured after they were hit by a motorcycle. The motorcyclists fled the scene. According to reports, the motorcyclists fled the scene, and the 2 6-year-old girls were seriously injured after they were hit by a motorcycle. I don't know why you hit someone and you run away from the scene. That's just not right. It's not done. So a man in his 30s crashed into a tree while celebrating after the game in Saint Felix in North France. Oh my goodness, this is too bad. And in southeastern city of Nancy, a 50-year-old man died after breaking his neck when he jumped into a shallow canal as the final whistle blew. Oh goodness me. I think this has marred the celebrations of the World Cup finale, and it's really sad. People losing their lives whilst enjoying. I don't know why that should be, but it's very, very sad. It's really, really sad. And oh, this is very, very bad. I think the French authority, my condolences goes to the families of these people, and I hope this we don't see this again. It's not supposed to be. That is not supposed to be the case. It isn't supposed to be so. Enjoy in a more decent way. I know you can be overcome by happiness and enjoyment, but to die because your team won the World Cup, really, no, that is not right. That is not right at all. So let's move into Ghana football. I think we all know the issue with Ghana football now. It's in a kind of limbo and restructuring. The GFA recruiting restructuring. The GFA are looking. Galka woos government with reforms. So one of the key figures of the lead Ghana Football Association has proposed. Nana Yamponsa, who owns Division 1 side Power Rangers, has proposed prominent personalities to man the 2 interim bodies to steer the Ghana football system onto the right path. I think personally, I'm not happy with the current situation in Ghana football right now, and it's really sad. It's really a really sad situation, and I really want football to go on in this country because that is what we love. That is what we are passionate about as a people. So the halt that has come to Ghana football from the analysis, expose, and all that stuff, I think government needs to work faster. But they are looking to dissolve the Ghana Football Association and restructure it. But Galka is looking to set up an interim body for now. So the document, which has been, it's a proposal they sent to government. The document has been widely circulated among members of the Ghana League Board Association, that's the GFA. Proposes Nana Yamponsa, who is leading the team. He proposes an 8-man member interim board and suggests a membership that includes Sports Minister Isaac Isiama, government nominees on the committee to oversee the restructuring of the GFA. Dr. Kofi Amwa, Heart of Folk owner and president of the National House of Chiefs, Drogba for the 6th, and Domai Nkuru, owner of Aduana Stars, Nana Bedu the 2nd. So the interim body, that interim board, he says, will ratify the decisions of subordinate interim committees. I think this is not a bad move on their part, and it should be upheld by the government. I hope straight away Ghana football will be back in action. And before I go, I think tomorrow Aduana Stars will be playing the CAF Confederations Cup. They'll be playing the CAF Confederations Cup against Club Vita. They'll be playing in Ghana here at the Domai Nkuru Sports Stadium. Hopefully, I'll be able to bring you the highlights on this channel. And we hope they do well and We hope they do Ghana proud. So yeah, that has been my news for today. It's been a pleasure being with you. As usual, as I say, subscribe to the channel. Leave your comments in the comment. What do you think about Drogba's comments? Was he right? Is he right in saying that is why African teams are not doing well at the World Cup? And what are your opinions about that? What happened to the French fans who were celebrating? Let me know. Let me know in the comments box below. Okay. Yeah. So I've been your host, Selassie Fiawe. Be sure to subscribe to the channel, as I always say. I'll see you in the next one.